This is the hardcore legend Mick Foley here, right here, New York Comic Con, and I am sending this out to all of you geeks with issues, finding out what it means to be a nerd.
Cause there's a geek in your face and the geek's got issues. Geeks, 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 geeks.
Hey, true believers, welcome back to another episode of Geeks with Issues 20XX, here in the new Basement of Dreams. We've got a very exciting episode for you, but before we begin, allow me to introduce to you your geeks. To my far right, the 8-bit adventurer himself, Sean.
Hello.
In the center and here via Zoom, the technologist Ogre.
Heyo.
And I, your friendly neighborhood Geekmaster, am Tuck. So we're going to start with a topic from Ogre. Book check!
Oh, book check. Yeah. So simple, really easy. What book or books are you currently reading right now? Go.
I mean, if we want to get super technical, like the Dagger Heart Player's Guide.
Nice.
I mean, as far as like an
Excellent.
actual like narrative thing, I haven't read anything lately because the last time I read something, I caused an eye flare up for me, and it's not fun. Ended up like super dizzy, also caused vertigo and everything. So I don't know if I can read chapter books anymore.
Oh, no.
But it was the King Killer
wow.
Chronicles.
Okay.
I read like both of the books over the course of like 4 or 5 days. It was a lot. But what I want to read are the D&D comic series of the Heroes of Baldur's Gate comic series. Mostly because it features Minsk and Boo. But yeah, Jim Zub, from what I hear, they're great. It turns out that I bought books like 4 and 5 out of a 6-book series, so I'm trying to get like books 1, 2, and 3 first before I jump into them.
So, very important qualifier question, because this sort of, got sparked by, you mentioned comic books. When we're talking about reading, Ogre, do you mean reading in the absolute traditional sense, or reading as in absorbing information from a book?
I'm an equal opportunity absorption. So
Excellent.
I think as long as you're getting books inside your brain, that is the important part.
Okay.
Yeah, audiobooks count.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, audiobooks count.
There are some purists who would get really intense about that. And
So I guess hot take, books in your brain are the best. Is that a hot take? Wait.
it shouldn't be a hot take. I guess it might be. The book in your brain is better than the book that's on paper.
The book that you've never read? Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. The book that you never write, the book that's in your brain is better than the book you've never read. I like that better. That's good. No, I am weird in my geekdom spaces where I will sort of hyper-focus on a single thing for a couple months, and then I will move on to the next thing that I'll focus on for a couple months. And there are areas that are comfort areas that I tend towards. And that is a highly ironic thing for me to say, because the next sentence I'm going to say is that one of my comfort areas that I'm currently operating in at the moment is Warhammer 40K. which is the least comfortable of the various properties I've ever experienced.
I mean, it compared to how things are in the real world, it might be comfy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There's a realism to it, I guess. So I am for the first time since college painting minis. I got myself a set of Grey Knights. So I decided that it would be appropriate for me to be reading a Grey Knight book. So while I'm painting, I am listening to The Emperor's Gift,
Okay.
which is a Grey Knight themed book. If we're talking about physical books, currently I'm jumping around reading sections of the Only War rule books.
Yeah.
What are you reading,
I'm,
Ogre?
I'm into epic fantasy and mythology right now. So, Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson, 600,000 words of wonderfulness there. And Mythos is by Stephen Fry. It's a retelling of Greek myths by Stephen Fry. That one I'm listening to as an audiobook. So we get to hear Stephen Fry tell me about Greek mythology, which is amazing.
I was about to say that would probably be the preferred way to read that particular book.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to take the difficult step to take a change of topic to difficulty. Sean, what about difficulty has you bothered?
Because it's difficult.
It's hard. It's too hard.
It's hard.
So
Yeah, so this is a perennial
impossible.
topic that comes up every time, in particular, games of certain series come out. It could be Dark Souls is sort of the poster child for difficulty in games and the debate around it. Precision platformers is another one. So things like Celeste, Hollow Knight, which Hollow Knight is also a weird like precision platformer, Metroidvania type thing. But in particular, there is this belief in especially fandoms of those two game series that if games are easy, then they are not worth like playing, and that
Nonsense.
and that
Continue.
and that things like accessibility options make a game worse, and they shouldn't have them because you should learn to adapt and overcome those difficult challenges. And that in particular is what gets me riled up. It's like it takes nothing from the game to introduce like optional, easier, difficult, or like to have a difficulty slider. You can still play the game at higher difficulty levels. Baldur's Gate 3 in particular showed us that you can have absurd levels of difficulty where they have I don't know if it's master difficulty or whatever, where if you win you get a golden D20, that's the reward.
Wow.
But it's essentially like hardcore plus, where it's like hardcore difficulty plus if you die it's permadeath.
Oh.
It's permadeath and it
Wow.
deletes your save file.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have to do it in a single run, and you can't use mods.
Okay.
So, I think having difficulty options, fantastic. I don't want to take extra difficulty options away from people, and have like extra difficult games. I don't want to take it away from people. But I don't have the time or the patience to play Dark Souls because it's a punishing game. I don't want to be punished when I game. I get punished in real life enough. There's a different, it's why like World of Warcraft got super popular after EverQuest. It didn't punish you for dying.
Right.
It took away the XP loss when you died. So, in my mind, have the options, but also it should be acknowledged that, a lot of folks talk about, games back in the day, they were so much harder. And therefore they were better because, they didn't baby people, you had to get good at playing those games. Those games were largely poorly designed. That might be a hot take. And I'm going to throw an example out there. Battletoads.
Oh,
I love Battletoads. Battletoads is a bad game, people.
yeah.
It's not well designed.
No.
There are many levels that are not beatable without the use of cheat codes.
Every time
Like-
I got to the crow level, I couldn't. Nope.
See, I've come to appreciate like easier modes as being certain games are rewarding when you face the challenge.
Yes.
And I can appreciate people wanting to face that challenge.
Yep.
And I would never want to take that experience away. But some people just want to experience the story. Some people just want to see what the game designers have created and not have to worry about the absurd difficulty. And, you know, I don't think this fond remembrance now, a tremendous Mega Man fan.
Yeah.
I wasted and was miserable for hours trying to beat sections of Pick the Game. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give options. Don't take away the hard stuff for the people who enjoy a hard game experience. But give the people who need to have a win in their life a win. It's okay.
Yep.
So it is about that time of year once again. The colors on the trees are changing. It's crisp in the air, and New York Comic Con is right around the corner. We're going to take a run from a journey from the basement run with Trevor to last year's Comic Con for a little bit of a retrospective on what was experienced there and what we might be excited about for this year's Comic Con. Trevor, take it away.
As we get ready for this year's New York Comic Con, let's take a step back and remember the ride that was 2024. The panels, the merch, the cosplay. Yeah, it was everything we love about a good con weekend. But more than that, it set the bar for what we're walking into this year. So before we pack the bags and hit the show floor again, let's rewind and relive some of those unforgettable moments. You can't talk Comic-Con without talking cosplay. The creativity people bring to NYCC is unreal. You've got costumes so detailed they look like they stepped right off the screen, and mashups that make you stop, laugh, and take a picture. Every corner of the convention hall is its own mini stage, and the fans, they're the real show. But what really sticks with you? The people. Comic-Con is the giant pop culture blender where you never know who you'll end up talking to. Maybe it's an indie comic creator who blows your mind with a new story, or maybe it's just another fan in line geeking out about the same obscure show you thought only you remembered. Those moments, those connections, that's where the real con magic happens.
So I have to ask you right away, obviously you're a wrestling geek, obviously you've been into this whole thing for a long time. What's one thing you geek out about that people might not know about, a geek guilty pleasure?
Obviously I love comics. I don't really have a whole lot of space in my life for things that other than aren't wrestling or comics. I love Taylor Swift, Chapel Row, and I might be a pop girly. I'm not 100% sure.
That's all right.
I think I might qualify for that now.
You've been coming to these things for how many years now?
We've been exhibiting since the very beginning, in 2007, 8.
So going along with our show and what it means to be a geek, would you say it's cool at this point to be a wrestling geek more than it was a few years ago? Where are we in that whole up-down cycle?
This is the only time in my life where wrestling has been so accepted. Like even when I was a kid, during the Hogan era and the Austin era, people still make fun of it. Everybody just kind of accepts it now. It's a real part of the culture in a way that it's never been. Really now the only people who really kind of give you a hard time are just like meatheads and whatever, Chads.
Hello, true believers. We're here again on Thursday at New York Comic Con at the Jacob Javits Center. We're here showing you all the things that you want to see, all the things that you want to geek on about. We've had a little bit of trouble finding special guests today, but it's one of those things where I'm going to have to wait. Screw this all up.
I'm sorry, everybody. Hey, Jim Cummings here. Can I tell you, you are watching Geeks with Issues. And I've got no issue with that. See how I work that in there? A professional. Stay dangerous. We have a number of things that's going on. But the two most important things that we are showcasing is our two graphic novel series, One People Soldiers, The Awakening, and then Jason, The Rules That Grew from the Comic. And also, we are, part of our non-profit initiative is where we are looking to promote more black and browns in the STEM field because of their passion in animation, gaming, and comic creation. So we're giving out career maps. We actually have a number of seminars that we're going to be doing throughout the weekend. So if you're here at New York Comic Con, please come out and support PBS Team, PBS Media.
So that was New York Comic Con 2024. A year packed with stories, surprises, and plenty of geek magic. And now, with 2025 right around the corner, we've got even more to look forward to. We'll be there, exploring, connecting, and probably standing in way too many lines. Until then, keep the fandom alive, and we'll see you at the next con, true believers.
Geeks, I don't know if you've heard anything about this year's Comic-Con. If you have, what are you most excited about seeing, hearing about, announcements, etc.?
I think here's the thing. I haven't seen any Marvel films in theaters since Eternals, maybe?
Okay.
And I know people are bad on the MCU now or whatever, but I wanna see it succeed, and which feels silly to say, but I wanna see good stuff still come out of it. So
you want to see good news about the future of Marvel movies?
Yeah. I don't want to see bad Marvel movies come out.
It's true. a bad Marvel movie is not ideal.
No, not at all. Whenever going to larger cons or just cons in general, I'm always drawn to the artist alley or the author's alley, just because you get to meet the people that make the things that we love, just across the board. I'm remembering one time, I think it was one of the first New York Comic Cons we ever did. We got to sit down and talk to Orson Scott Card for an hour or two, and that was just, I was blown away that we even got the interview, let alone I'm standing here listening to a legend talk about books and talk about just everything. So it's experiences like that I just adore at conventions in general.
My answer is going to be a very Geeks with Issues answer. I am looking forward to seeing the things that no one else is paying attention to, because that seems to be the magic of whenever a member of GWI goes to a Comic-Con, we always find one of the lesser known, and as you got to see in the retrospective, some of the lesser known either potential stars or unknown talents that really deserve some degree of attention. So I'm looking forward to seeing what no one else expected to be at Comic-Con this year.
And you know what? I did forget about something, and I'm ashamed to admit that I forgot about it. I'm excited to see if there's any new looks at the upcoming Mighty 9 animated series.
Ah, very nice. Okay, so for our last topic, I wanted to play off of something that we discussed last session, specifically relating to Critical Role and their announcement of sticking with Dungeons and Dragons for season 4. I hinted that one of the major reasons that they're sticking with Dungeons and Dragons is because you wouldn't have a learning curve for the format. That was slightly disingenuous. It's not untrue, but in my mind, the actual reason that they're sticking with Dungeons and Dragons is because it's much more capable of running the West Marches format. So Critical Role is doing something called the West Marches format, where there is a central place to rest. And then there is a world map that has been built. And the players in groups that are larger, the total size of the group is larger than your average gaming group.
Yeah, so the cast of Campaign 4, the total cast is 13 people.
But you won't see all 13 people at the same time.
So slight correction, they have said they're going to do like an overture type thing where you'll see all of them.
Episodes overture. Yeah.
And then they will break apart into various story arcs.
Okay.
But for the most part, you'll see gameplay with like smaller groups.
Right. So the question that I have for the geeks is, what is your preferred / if you're going to take a stand on a hill, the best format for tabletop RPGs? Is it so I learned this from Professor Dungeon Master, provided a little bit of history as to these two formats. So the West Marches format is a modernized version of original Dungeons and Dragons where you create a map and the players would go explore the map. Versus the narrative format, which was very much started by Ravenloft and Strahd. Which of those is your preferred / are you willing to take a stand? Is there one that is better than the others?
Yeah, so I'm happy to jump in right from the get-go because I have a weird dichotomy. My preferred, I've never played a West Marches game.
Okay.
I would prefer a West Marches game.
Okay.
This should come as a shock to no one that knows me, or to everyone that knows me. Given that I have played Rangers for like the past 25 years, and that is their preferred style of play because that's where they actually get to do rangery things.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm also weird. I like tracking ammunition. I like tracking food, water, encumbrance, inventory slots, having to figure out like, oh no, we need to get a cart to carry all our stuff. It lends itself well to that exploration style play. And I also love generating a map as you go. That said, do I think it's the best format? I think in particular, if you're going to do an actual play, I think the narrative style fits better. That said, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. Should be noted that it's a different dungeon master. It's going to be Red and Lee Mulligan from Dimension 20 and Dropout.
Who was a master of improvisation.
Yeah, and I think West Marches is perfect for like his style of trying to do something. But that said, I think I would prefer a West Marches, but I think narrative is perhaps better for what people want out of RPGs these days.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never tried a West March either. That would be something that I would love to try, especially with Ogre, who would just go through the map smashing things and etc. I've only tried narrative ones, and I think looking at it from how I look at things, I think it's based on the group that you're sitting down with too, because a West March's experience is going to be better with a bunch of people that really want to explore, love to work together and move through the kind of the the environment and everything. And then there are very narrative driven groups that are just like, tell me a story. I want to live this story. Take me out of my brain. Give me this story that's going to be amazing. So I think what's better for me is probably the narrative if I have to choose one overall, just because I love that feeling of being swept away by a story overall. So I'll take the hot take of the narrative one would be my preferred, if not better than the West Marches.
So I have a fondness for both because I've had the opportunity to play in narrative stories, and they're very interesting and engaging, and you want to find out what's happening next in the story that's being created. But I haven't played in a West Marches game, but I've played in an original Dungeons and Dragons, like first edition game, which is very, very similar. And the emergent storytelling that you end up with is second to none. So if you haven't tried one or the other, try the other one if you have an opportunity, because there's something that you're missing. And that's the takeaway. You don't want to miss an experience that you haven't had. And we're happy that you had the experience of watching this episode of Geeks with Issues. We've run out of time for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and we hope we'll see you next time. Until then, this has been
Sean.
Ogre.
And Tuck, hoping you geek on, geek out, and geek everywhere. Just clean up after yourself. We'll see you next time on Geeks with Issues. Goodbye, everybody.
You gotta blow on it. You gotta blow on it. I used to think anything was possible. I thought that I could be a king or Caesar. But I don't need all of that gold or silver. That's how I know that I'm a true believer. Some people wanna climb the corporate ladder, TPS reports, politics and schemes. Thanks to my chainsaw, my cubicle is firewood. Now I'm living in a basement of dreams.